So in this lecture, we're going to first talk about Section 1.7. In Section 1.6, we explored the starting point of writing a program. So we want to start learning some more details. So when we are writing a program, we can add comments to it. Comments are documentations. When we add documentations, the program's intent becomes more clear. So there are two types of comments that you can add. A single line comment, so when you add a single line comment at the beginning of the line, you place two front slashes. So these are called front slashes. Notice the bottom of that slash, that's towards the front, so that's why that's called a front slash. Backslash will be the one where the bottom goes to the right, so that's a backslash. So this is a front slash. So if we want to write a comment, which is going to be a single line, we place these two front slashes in front of the line. We can also add a multi-line comment. If we want a multi-line comment, at the very beginning we need this, then however many lines of comments, and then the very end we need a star front slash. So here are some examples. So a very common thing that happens in programming is at the very beginning of the program, you add a multi-line comment which in a sentence or two describes what the program is supposed to do, who wrote the program, when was it written. So this is a basic documentation. We add documentations like this to make the program clear. Most of the big companies, your Googles and your Microsofts, they're going to have specific guidelines about where to add documentation, what level. They will even have guidelines about how you can name a variable. So for example, over here, I'm going to wait for 30 seconds. I'm going to let you all browse this code first, and then I'm going to explain. So we have a simple program here. We are going to talk about the program as well as the comments. So this program, what is the name of the class? You all reply. Good, pasta calculator. Next question. So what will be the name of the file this will be saved in? Good, so whatever the class name is, that plus .java is the name of the file where this file needs to be saved. So we have a main method. We have the import statement for the scanner up top. Whenever we have a comment, the comment is for the programmer to review and get more information from. So the comment lines are not executed. These are dummy lines in that sense. These are not executed when the program executes. So we are creating the scanner over here. We are creating two variables. The first variable is called numPeople. The second variable is called total ounces pasta. Both of them are integer type. It is very common for us to name variables like this, where you combine two words together and then create a single word out of that. This is more meaningful, conveys more information. You can read the name of the variable and you'll be able to tell, you know what, that variable is going to store the number of people. This idea, where look at the variable again. The first word is all lowercase. The second word, the initial alphabet, is capitalized. This is a very common programming convention, naming variables like this. This is called camel casing. Camel, the animal, it has a hump, right, on its back. So this uppercase in the middle kind of creates that hump. That's why this is called camel casing. This is camel casing 2. So it has three words. So the first word is all small. Then the second word's first character is capitalized. The third word's first character is capitalized. So we created two variables. We ask for an input. So when we ask for input, a lot of the times this is the typical convention. You tell the user what you're expecting and then you read that. So you tell the user, hey, enter the number of people. So this is a println, so it'll print, enter number of people, colon space, go to the next line, my cursor will continue to blink. Then when the user types in integer, it will, this part of that I'm highlighting, the right hand side part will read that integer, and then this assignment operator will assign that value to this numPeople variable. After that, based on that numPeople, we are multiplying that with 3, and that's my total ounce of pasta that I'll need. So I'm storing that in total ounce pasta, and then I'm outputting this nicely formatted output. It says cook space this much amount of pasta, and this, since this is a variable, the value will be pulled out of that variable and printed, and then ounces of pasta. I also want you to again recall something. The plus sign, if you have two numbers around a plus, it's going to add. If you have a plus sign inside a println, it converts everything to string. In programming, string is a fancy way of saying words. So it converts everything to words and characters, combines all of them together, and then it prints it. So now let's come back to the comments. So we had a multi-line comment here. When we are doing a multi-line comment, slash star and star slash are the two delimiters. And then we have a few single line comments sprinkled in, just so that if someone else is reading the program, they can understand it. That's the idea of comments. We're going to now move on to white spaces. White spaces are just blank spaces. It can be tabs, it can be spaces that we leave between lines. So if you read this program, this is a white space. These are white spaces in front of all these lines. So we use white spaces to format the program better. The class starts at the very beginning of the line. The main method gets indented by a tab. There's a tab key on a keyboard. Usually when we press the tab key, it puts in 4 blank spaces. So we tabbed and indented the main method by 1 tab. Within the main method, every line of code was indented by 1 tab again. So this is visually showing us which is within what. So you all need to start using tabs and white spaces to properly format the program. Is it required? No, but it is important to properly format it. In fact, when you start writing code in JGrasp, the IDE that I requested you all to download and install, it will automatically tab some of it. This is an example where what happens when we don't tab. Notice it's hard to tell what line belongs to where. So that's the key. Over here, it is much easier to tell, okay, where is the main method? What are the lines within the main method? Not so much here. The main method is right here, but this line right here, had it been tabbed, it will be easier for you to see what belongs to the main method. So that's the idea of comments and white spaces.